Today we're looking at recent developments in the digital asset space with Luzius Meisser, chairman of Bitcoin Suisse, a platform which allows you to trade, store and earn cryptocurrencies. I also want to ask him what Credit Suisse's recent downfall says about traditional banking and what decentralized finance can do better. Good morning, Luzius.
Good morning, Jade. Great to be here.
Great to have you. What does the downfall of one of Switzerland's most systemically relevant banks say about traditional banking?
It tells us that there is a lot of room for improvement. So essentially, I see this as a failure of a centralized entity, a very big centralized institution that was overseen by centralized regulators and governed by centralized laws. So it was a centralized approach to risk. But the risk itself came bottom up. And I think this is the fundamental problem. So even if you created the perfect laws, it wouldn't be possible to avert future crises like this. So I think the recipe is to go for a more decentralized system where you have small entities that can fail on their own, that are okay to fail, that are not too big to fail, and good rules how you to handle that failure and also to manage the risk directly where the risk is. So this is one of the big insights of economists, that centralized planning doesn't work. The best and most robust economy is one where all decisions are taken closest to the information of the subject of the decision. So this is why a decentralized system is so robust, and why a centralized system might look strong for a long time, but eventually might fail in the face of a storm.
Now, the value of Bitcoin has gone up over 50% this year, and a lot of that interest came with the onset of the banking crisis. Do you think this is because people were genuinely convinced about the potential of crypto, or is it just a case of them fearing they might be missing out on something?
So Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies were born out of a banking crisis and out of the insight that we can do better. But I think it's always a little people are too fast to connect recent events to general movements, and I think Bitcoin would have gone up anyway because there's a very strong cyclicality in crypto. The cycle takes about 4 years, and if you talk to technical analysts maybe half a year ago, they would tell you Q1 2023 is the time to buy Bitcoin again, for these cyclical reasons. Of course, this is a little like astrology. I don't believe it in so much, but they turn out to be right, it seems. So it seems we are at the start of the next crypto spring, and this would be a good time to think about what comes next and how to benefit from this cycle.
Now, moving on to the topic of tokenized finance, the Bern Stock Exchange already tokenizes shares of privately held companies with a company called Daura. How does Actionariat, a company you co-founded, add to this service?
The main difference is the degree of centralization. So Daura and the Bern Stock Exchange, they have a more traditional setup with a centralized system that is managed by someone. And we help Swiss companies to issue their securities, their shares, their bonds on a public blockchain, on Ethereum blockchain. So they are freely transferable. They don't depend on us. So if Actionariat disappears, the tokens still exist. They are still freely transferable and could be used by any system, by any decentralized exchange, by any lending protocol. And this creates an enormous opportunity.
Now, staying on the topic of tokenized finance, how is the market for tokenized products developing?
So security tokens have been a topic for a long time. So already 5 years ago, people said this will be one of the next big things, but it's growing very, very slowly. And I think the main reason for that is that securities are 10 times more tightly regulated than currencies. So whatever you do in the security space moves 10 times as slow as what you do in the currency space. So it's just that we need more time for this potential to unfold.
So security tokens are a building block. What about the hypes? In 2017, we saw ICOs, then came NFTs in 2021. What can we expect in 2025?
This is an excellent question. Of course, I don't have a crystal ball, but one topic I feel very strongly about, because I think it has huge potential, is that of decentralized, collateralized stable coins. So this sounds very exotic, but it has the potential to build banks without banks. So you could, for example, take a security tokens, let's say to take 1 million worth of shares, put it into such a protocol, and then you mint 500,000 worth of Swiss francs or dollars. So this is what you also do when you get a credit from a bank. The bank creates the money. But here it's money creation in a decentralized and fully transparent manner, which has a huge potential because whoever creates the money in the economy also decides about the resource allocation of the economy. So this is something I'm very hopeful about, and my personal hope is that this would also be the next big hype topic, and that it would be more than a hype. So after the hype, when the bubble bursts again, the question is always what is left, and I would hope that in this case there's something substantial left.
Now, what would be the best way into decentralized finance for a client?
So if you want to get access to DeFi, but you're scared of all the technological hoops and obstacles, and you are scared of navigating this jungle of risks and opportunities, you can always come to Bitcoin Suisse. So we want to be your trusted gateway into DeFi. We have one pilot product, which is Liquidity, and we hope to add more DeFi products in the future.
Luzius, thank you for coming to finews.
Thank you, Jade. It was great to be here.
And thank you for watching finews.